everybody. Still really awkward recording yourself, videos of yourself, at least it is for me. But anyway, I promised an update on sticking to doing the hard things. So, and actually this morning kind of played into that. So it's getting into fall. I'm finishing up a lot of the busy stuff that we had, and then you just got a lot of little leftovers, So I had to do some as-built maps, and I actually left the map at one of the job sites, so I had to run back over there and find that. It got blown away. My own stupid mistake trying to get in a hurry and get equipment out and all that type of stuff. So I found that, and I did the map, and I was like, I owe everybody an update on, doing the hard things as opposed to getting fast food in the morning, that type of stuff, right? More kind of getting back into shape, getting back into working out, work slowing down. And so I've done a good job. I didn't work out yesterday, unless you count like 5 minutes of me messing around with some weights, waiting for Katie to get ready for church. But other than that, I've been pretty steady for 4 days. This is the 5th day in a row. So basically a lot of whey protein, a lot of tuna fish. That's all I'm eating. I'm not going to show you my six-pack because it doesn't exist, but it's not that easy. But anyway, I have noticed a little bit of change in the energy. I feel like it's really weird, but I feel like I'm almost on like a, B12 or something, and you take that and like it just opens up all your capillaries, like you can feel your skin kind of hot or whatever. Like I've kind of had that feeling every once in a while. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it makes me feel energized. I know that. So I think it's working. I don't think anyone would argue that eating fast food all the time would be good for you, but I also don't think eating it every once in a while is bad for you. No more than breathing in your car exhaust at a gas station. We can't avoid the world, so it just is what it is sometimes. And it's easier to get the kids make it easier. It's easier to grab a burger on your 2-hour drive to a site walk or to work or to whatever. So anyway, but I'm doing better. I'm trying to do the hard things. Still get a little bit lazy here or there, but yeah, I'm powering through it. So hopefully there'll be a difference to be seen. Camera falls down here a little bit, but anyway, so that's basically all I had for an update. And then I was thinking about the hard things, and I'm over at this job site. Well, they have a big, beautiful concrete patio that they built, and the tank is right next to it. And so I needed some extra dirt that they had piled up that they had done. Some other contractor done the dirt work or whatever, probably the concrete guys, and they had piled up some dirt. Well, I need to steal a little bit of that dirt, and I just swing it over to concrete patio to finish filling in that back corner of the septic tank. And that was a couple days ago, and I had the intention. I'm like, oh man, I'm dropping dirt all over this guy's concrete patio. I'm like, I'll clean that up. Well, I didn't even do the map. You know what I mean? Like I did the first part, and I needed to do the second part of the map, and I didn't even do that. So I was just in a hurry and forgot. And so I got there this morning, and I'm like, I got to get my billing done. I got to get I do a ledger for everything for tax purposes, so I know what I spend and what I spend it on and all that type of stuff. Save my receipts and everything for the IRS if they ever want to come audit me. But I do everything as by the book as I can, right? And so anyway, I'm thinking all these things I have to do, and I'm just like, okay, well, I got my measurements. I'll just do the rest of the map at home and draw it out. So I'm just in a hurry to go, and I literally am pulling out of the driveway, and it's a one-way road, right? So I got to back all the way up, and I'm driving on my way out, and I'm like, damn it, I didn't sweep that patio. And a millisecond, I thought, I'll just take on, dude, whatever, it's gonna get dirty again. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's that big of a deal. But then I was like, I got out of the truck, and I was actually irritated with myself that I'm not an asshole. You know what I mean? I was like, well, why? You know what I mean? Like, are people able to shut that voice off? Because I can't let it go once it gets in my head. I can't be like, oh, I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta do this thing, and then I forgot, and then it's just easier just to say, oh, I forgot about it, so I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because it's always more of a pain in the butt to have to go back, or like I said, having to back the truck up and then walk even further with the broom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But my point is that's one of the hard things, right? But I don't feel like I have a choice in those hard things, because I feel like I have this moralistic ethic voice screaming at me would you do that if it was your house? Would you like it if a contractor came over and you just put in this big, beautiful patio, and then they just dump dirt on it. You know, I mean, again, it's not like it was a huge amount, but you know what I mean? Like, I can't shut that voice off. So it's like, and I don't think I'd want to. I'm not arguing that I want to, but I'm like, I am dumbfounded and amazed by people that can turn it off. You know what I mean? That are just like, oh yeah, whatever, not my fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We all know those people, and they don't just have to be contractors. I mean, there's just people like that in general, and that's why their yard's full of trash, mine included. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's doing those hard things, but I think it's easier when you have a voice telling you to do it. And I'm like, well, why don't I have a voice telling me to get up in the morning and you know, go for a jog? Why don't I have a voice in my head telling me, like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a disconnect between one aspect of my life and having to be disciplined and having to do the hard things all on your own. And then I feel like there's this, you know, I mean, almost like an emotional side or something. Like there's this other side of me, like this moral soul or something that's telling me to do things that I don't want to do, but I'm compelled to do them. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to sweep a patio. You know what I mean? So it's like, and there's the work ethic involved in that, and there's reputation, and there's not wanting to be that contractor that leaves the site a mess. I mean, dude, there's people that, I mean, they just drink a water bottle and drop it where they finish drinking it. And I'm like, don't you have a box in the back of your truck that you throw your trash away in? Like, don't you pick up after yourself? Like, it amazes me what some of these contractors do. And it's not just Oklahoma, it's Oregon, it's everywhere I've ever worked, man. It's just their own little personal trash heap until the job's over, and then it's somebody else's job to pick up after them like a bunch of children. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. I didn't know if anybody had any thoughts on that, but I find it funny that there's certain hard things to do, right, that take discipline, that take work ethic, that take all these things, but it's like that one side of me has a voice in my head that won't let me, you know what I mean, deceive or cheat or whatever. But yet on the other side of it, that part of myself has no problem cheating myself, deceiving myself. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is good. Well, I'm just eating a burger. You know what I mean? Like, well, what else am I supposed to do? Drive all the way home and make a sandwich? You know what I mean? Like, so why is one side of me have a voice, and it makes it not necessarily any easier, but it holds me accountable. Like, I feel like that voice in my head, which is myself, is holding me accountable to do the right thing. But when it comes to my own health, when it comes to my own prosperity, there's just nothing. It's just crickets. I just think that's funny. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but I noticed that this morning. So there was the update on like, oh, hey, how's the hard things, the whey protein, and not eating fast food. And I've had 2 high chews in like 5 days, 4 or 5 days. Well, if I don't have any today, it'll be 5 days. So I'll have no high chews except for the 2, and that was a little weak spot. But I've cut out, like, minus the sugar that's in the whey protein, like 2 grams, minus the sugar that's in whatever, you know, organic bread we buy. I'm sure there's sugar in it, but probably not a crap ton, but and definitely none in the tuna or pickles. But anyway, that's basically all I've been eating. And then whatever Katie does for dinner, I'll try to portion that out so I'm not eating a bunch, you know. I'm trying to be uncomfortable is where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be at a steady state of hunger, which is apparently pretty freaking easy when you stop eating fast food. But anyway, like I said, I feel that there's an energy difference. I feel that there's a, you know, I feel more alive, I guess, a little bit on edge, a little tingly, like ready to freaking do something, as opposed to just kind of like going from one thing to the next, you know, and kind of drudging along. So I think that's a pretty significant change. I definitely didn't feel this way on day 2 or day 3. Day 4 was probably the best day that I felt, and I got really, really tired, but I waited until like 3 o'clock to have lunch, so that could have had something to do with it. I wasn't feeding my body, but anyway, but yeah, I mean, day 5 I seem to be feeling better. I'm ambitious to get things done instead of having to get things done. I'm excited to just keep things going and get things checked off my list, because like I said, there's a lot of stupid paperwork. I should check in an hour, because I'll probably be beating my head against my desk, getting all the paperwork and everything done for billing and everything. But anyway, just wanted to give you an update, see if other people had a voice on one aspect of their life and no voice on the other side. But either way, they're hard things, and I hope you continue to do them. Talk to you later.